This is the Hglrc Sector 5 V3 version with GPS. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Another cool 5-inch on the channel for review today. This is the Hglrc Sector 5 V3 with GPS on the back, and it's running an 800 milliwatt VTX on here. So if you really want to get out there for a few miles on analog video, you can do it. It has a CAT-X baby Ratel camera in the front right here, and what I like about this, just jumping right into this review, is that they do have a TPU sidewall on the inside of this camera, so you really eliminate a lot of vibrations in the quad by adding that little bit of extra TPU dampening inside there between the carbon sidewall and the camera. So they do come with two different types of mounts here. I have a flat bottom mount, then I have a top mount. This is for a Gopro with Hero 7 or 8, it will fit. And this is adjustable too. They have a little different type of setup here. This has different adjustment points, and underneath here there is a screw that goes through to sort of, I believe there's a thin bar that goes through this, or an extra long screw, but either way it is adjustable. And what's nice about this frame is that it does come in at around 444 grams on the scale and around 600 grams with a 4S 1550 battery. And looking on the bottom of the quad, it is replaceable arms on here. And what's nice about it, they put a lot of gold hardware on here, which I really think is pretty cool. Even out on the motor mounts here, we have 4 bolts on the bottom of each motor. TPU mount here for protecting the carbon arms when you do go in for a crash, which is nice. And we have a new style motor that's on here, a 2306.5 motors. And these are the 4S version. You can also get a 6S version of this quad. These are 2550 kV motors. And we have some other TPU trimmings around this quad as well. We have some TPU on the side holding the XT60 in a vertical spot right there. It's kind of nice. They have printing on the very top that says Sector, Hglrc Sector, and in the back they have a TPU mount for the GPS, and it's on a tilt, so when you're flying like this, it's going straight up, which is kind of nice. I've got my Hammer VTX antenna back here running off that 800 milliwatt backseat VTX, and TPU trimmings on the back as well for either a DJI setup, it has 2 holes out the back, or the analog setup. So if you upgrade to DJI later, it's nice because you can put it on the tail end here and make it a backseat VTX for DJI. And we have the classic Immortal T mount option back here on the TPU mount. But I think what's the best about this quad is the fact that it is 4 and 6S option available, but the tune on here from Hglrc is quite good. This is running the F7 flight controller on here. So this is one of my more favorite flight controllers. People are asking me lately, Justin, what's your favorite flight controller? Well, this one is one of them. It also has the updated 2020 USB-C port on the side right there for Betaflight. So get in there, adjust your OSD and all that good stuff. I also got in the box the Hlrc LED kit. So this is all ready to go. There's LED ports on the side right here. You just put the LEDs on the arm or underneath, on top, wherever you like them, and then you plug them right in and secure the wires. I also got an extra strap in the box. I got some extra M3 hardware. It looks like quite a bit of extra hardware, which is kind of nice for the new guys just getting into the sport. But let's go out and fly this one. Let me show you what this one's all about. It is not going to be as fast as the T-Motor FT5, but it is an absolute freestyle beast. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back from the flight test. The Sector 5 V3 did pretty much as expected during the flight test. It does have a great tune on here. It has that classic long body design with the True X replaceable arms on the bottom, and with the GoPro on board, you don't feel a lot of the extra weight when you're flying it, which is kind of nice. Some of the quads out there, when you freestyle them, they have a little bit of that heavier feeling with the GoPro. The 20-306.5 motors have plenty of top end throttle. So if you're looking for something that doesn't feel weighed down, this quad is nice. It is not quite as fast and as nimble as the one that I reviewed yesterday on the channel. That was the T motor. It was the FT5 4S edition with HD on board. That one is a lot zippier. It is also lighter. This one is weighing in at 444 grams, but it is fairly beastie for its size. It's going to get you in upwards of 600 grams with a 4S 1550 on there, and you're going to be above that with your GoPro in here. So it is definitely a beast, but it is something that you can freestyle and still pull out of the biggest maneuvers with. So this is Hglrc's flagship quad this year, so I'm expecting that they should do pretty well with all the different varieties and versions that they have out there. They have the 4S and 6S analog version available, and that one's under the $200 price point, which is nice for new guys getting into it that just want to use their Fat Sharks or Sky Zones if you have analog goggles. If you don't want to go the DJI route, that's fine, but I really like the camera that's on here as well. The CATX Baby Ratel is really super. If you decide later that you want to upgrade this one to a 6S rig, you can start out with 4S. I always recommend that for the new guys. Start out on 4S and move your way up to 6. It does have 60 amp ESCs on here, so you can add lower kV like 1750 motors later and run 6S on here, no problem. This flight controller is actually made for 6S. F7 flight controller is just one of the most awesome flight controllers out there on the planet right now. It does have plenty of room as well for a fairly large battery. I always call this the truck bed. On top of these type of canopies, you have the GPS right here, which is kind of limiting that a little bit, but then again, you have return to home that you can set up on a switch inside Betaflight. You also have low battery return. It does not return in land, by the way. It returns to the point where you took off, and then you have to take control. I also have my XM Plus on the very back here, riding in the tailgate. And if you decide to build your own, they do have the kit on Banggood's website. And I'm looking at that right now, and it's $55 for the V3 version, and it's $43 for the V2 version. So you can get those, and you can get extra arms. If you decide you want to buy an extra arm, when you purchase this, I would recommend getting a couple extra arms. They are $6 a piece, so go ahead and add that to the cart when you go to check out. But this is what I expected. I expected something that would be durable, high performance, and just overall fun to fly, and it would be a great format for freestyle. So I wouldn't necessarily call this one a race quad for multi-GP type racing, but it is an amazing freestyle quad if you're looking for that. And if you decide to go the analog route, you can get it under the $200 price point at around $190, I believe $180, $190. But this was a fun and very predictably awesome review, so I'm gonna give this one 2 thumbs up very easily on the channel. So I appreciate you guys watching and checking out the newest and latest greatest on the Drone Camps channel. You'll see new quads all the time right here on the channel, so be sure to check back often on the channel. Click subscribe and the bell for the notifications of when new videos come out. I'm Justin Davis, guys. Take care, be safe out there in COVID land. I'll see you on the next one.